This video is brought to you by PureVPN. Do you want an extra layer of security when you're browsing the internet? Well, PureVPN has got you covered. They are running their Black Friday sale right now, and you can get 24 months of PureVPN for $1.99 a month. So that is a fantastic deal. That is 82% off the regular price. Would highly recommend you to check that out. So that is their Black Friday offer this year, and that'll be running right now as you guys are watching this video. Link in the description box below. On top of that, you can use the code GAMECROSS to save an additional 10% on top of that. A very well-received VPN with a wide array of servers available, over 6,500 servers to be exact, helps you stream all you want, and offers you a dedicated IP from a variety of different countries. Check out the link in the description box below. Now on to the video. How's it going, everyone? Yesterday we covered the Black Friday deals on the PlayStation Store that were, more expensive games, but in this video I do want to highlight the games under $10 that we usually do. Gonna look at the Black Friday sale mostly, but a couple of deals in the indie game sale I thought would be worth noting as well, so we'll get to that in a little bit, but let's get right into it. Off the top, Batman Return to Arkham, a 75% off for $4.99 is an excellent price. This will get you Batman Arkham Asylum as well as Batman Arkham City. Both games are very, very good. I prefer Arkham City. That is my favorite game in the entire franchise. Arkham Asylum itself is very good. I remember leading up to this game where, Arkham Asylum, that is, where a lot of people were not completely sold on it just because the rep superhero games had at that point, but Arkham Asylum completely flipped that on its head, and if you've never played it, given that the game initially came out in 2009, I know, some of you guys probably just, had no interest in it back then. Go pick it up, even if you're not the biggest Batman fan. I wasn't the biggest Batman fan when I initially played it, but I still had a great time. Great story. Combat still holds up very well, and for $5 to get two great games, it's easily worth a buy. Next up, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition, 80% off for $9.99. I mean, I mention this all the time when it's $10, and it's regularly $10. There's $10 deals on this game all the time, but it's always worth a pickup. If you haven't checked it out, you should really do so. It is a fantastic RPG that, in my opinion, almost really just nails every element that a top-tier RPG needs to nail for it to be a elite-tier game, and it's fantastic. Now, the PlayStation 4 version runs fine, but the game is getting a PlayStation 5 upgrade, so it's going to run much better when that upgrade comes out. That's probably going to be mid to late 2022, since they got to do the Cyberpunk update first, probably closer to, mid 2022. But if you can't wait that long, just play the PlayStation 4 version, and then honestly, you can revisit the game. I mean, it's replayable, and it's a fantastic game. $9.99 for the Complete Edition as well. Gets you all the content, all the expansions. Just a great time for $10. Next up, we also have Middleearth Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition. Now, both this and Shadow of War are on sale. Shadow of War is $12, so it just missed that threshold, but worth it as well. This was one of the first games released on the PlayStation 4 that really showcased what next-gen games could be. Now, the game was cross-gen in actuality, but honestly, the previous-gen version of the game was not the best. This game itself, again, came out late 2014, and I had a great time with it. Once again, the combat system in this game was so good, so satisfying, gruesome at times as well. The story was pretty good, and for $5, you're getting a good amount of content for your money. It's not a absurd amount of content. The open world in this game isn't as big as some of the more recent open worlds, but it's still a fun open world to explore, and for $4.99 I think this is a great pickup, especially given all the content you're getting with the Game of the Year Edition. Next up, we have Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, 90% off for $4.99. This is a tactics-based strategy game, akin to something like an XCOM, maybe a little bit different than XCOM, but very enjoyable at the same time. And I'm not big on strategy games. Maybe it was the setting that really drew me in with this game. I really, really like the aesthetic of the game. It's set in Japan around the Edo period. Gameplay-wise, it's very good. Visuals aren't blow away or anything like that, but I like the presentation. The art style is really good. And depending on what difficulty you play it on, you could have a variety of different experiences with it. If you want a really challenging experience, you can have that. If you want something that's a little bit more laid back, you can have that as well. But for $5, I think it's a great pickup. and a good bit of content here as well. Next up, we have Dishonored 2, which is 80% off for $6. Dishonored 2 is a very, very good game. You know, you can tackle it a couple different play styles. I would recommend to go stealthy your first way through and try to go for the peaceful route. But if you want to go chaotic and you want to like murder everything in sight, you can do that as well. And I found that to be relatively enjoyable as well. You have two different playable characters as well, Corvo Otano and Emily Caldwin, and you know, it makes the game relatively replayable on top of that. It's not like there's a gigantic amount of differences, but it's worthwhile to go through the game twice for sure. And for $6, I think the game is a very, very good pickup. Like, for this price, it's 80% off, and I don't remember it getting this cheap. There is a demo available as well, so you can check that out if you do want, but $6 for it is so cheap that I would check it out right off the top. Next up, Haze Combat 7 Skies Unknown Deluxe Edition, 90% off for $8.49. Now, the funny thing about this, I really shouldn't say funny, but the PlayStation Store is running a games under $20 sale right now as well. And the base game is $12, so figure that one out. But that games under $20 sale, I believe, went in effect before the Black Friday sale, so that's kind of crappy. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm sure not that many people, you know, bought it for $12, and then the Deluxe Edition suddenly goes on sale for $8.49, but the fact that they're running in parallel with one another, I feel like there should be some cross-checking so you can avoid situations like that, because usually the PlayStation Store doesn't do something like that. Nevertheless, Haze Combat 7 is a fantastic game for $8.49. Wouldn't say the story is blow away, but from a gameplay standpoint, music standpoint, soundtrack-wise, one of the more underrated games for having a killer soundtrack. You can look up some of the tracks on YouTube if you want, and you can see that there are some awesome music in this game and a lot of fun. Decent bit of content as well. $8.49, think it's a great pickup, so go check that one out for sure. Next up, Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark. It is $8.69 if you're a Plus subscriber, $10.19 if you're a non-Plus subscriber, so just falls short of the threshold, but I thought I'd include it anyway. Look, I know a lot of people want a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, remake, whatever the case may be. If you want something pretty darn close that is also very good, this is a really good one. A story-driven, turn-based tactical RPG in a fantasy world. It is a very, very good game, and one that unfortunately has not gotten that much buzz at this price. Again, you'll want that Final Fantasy Tactics style of experience with a great art style, great presentation. This is a very, very good one to get. And again, draws homage to it, but while also modernizing the experience quite a bit. I think $8.69 is a great pickup for this. Go check it out. Again, one of the underrated gems of the last few years. Do want to give a shout to Cat Quest and Cat Quest 2. Cat Quest 1 is $1.94. Cat Quest 2 is $5.99. These games are just super charming, super relaxed, casual RPGs. Like, no, it ain't gonna challenge you to the level of a Sekiro or a Dark Souls or anything like that, but if you want a laid-back game to get into that has a lot of charm, that has a lot of, you know, elements that take you back to your youth, I think there's a lot of fun with Cat Quest, and this is a game that anybody can really get into and have fun with. Cat Quest 1, again, is $1.94, so from that aspect, that is a great pickup, and then you can get Cat Quest 2 as well if you do want. That's got cooperative play on top of that, so check it out if you want something a little bit more lighthearted. No, you're not getting an emotional narrative. You're not going to get something as engrossing as, let's say, a Final Fantasy VII remake, but you're going to get something that is definitely charming as all hell. Next up, we have Risk of Rain 2, which is 60% off for $9.99. If you're a Plus subscriber, you'll save an additional 10% for $7.49. Risk of Rain 2 was another one of those games. This game got a lot of buzz on PC, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it from a console standpoint, but if you can find a friend to pick it up alongside you, it is a very good game. It's got a lot of replayability, and it's a game that I have some friends that have spent north of 150 hours on PC. I didn't spend quite as much time, but yeah, it was a great experience back then, and it makes a solid transition to the PlayStation 4 as well. If you go into it solo, absolutely you can have a good time with it, but I think a lot of the fun does come from its cooperative play, so that is something to note. But yeah, would check it out, especially if you're a Plus subscriber. That $7.49 price tag's pretty spicy. Lastly, Bioshock the Collection, 80% off for $9.99. I mean, I've recommended this so many times. Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite. Infinite is my favorite. One of the best made first-person shooters from a control standpoint and being responsive and just having satisfying gameplay, I thought it was really good. Bioshock 1 still holds up rather well, and while Bioshock 2 to me is a distant third, the fact that these three games are at such a high level, even being a distant third with Bioshock 2, it is still at a relatively high level and holds up pretty well. The games have great settings, particularly the settings are why I like Bioshock Infinite the most. I like the different take that it had from Bioshock 1, but yeah, some pretty trippy narrative elements to say the least as well. $9.99 for this one is a slam dunk no-brainer. Go check it out. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. Return to Arkham, Witcher 3, a lot of good stuff. Dishonored 2, that Dishonored 2 price might be one of the sleeper deals a part of this entire sale. I know it doesn't have the whole package with the standalone expansion, but still pretty darn good. Haze Combat 7, I don't know what was going on with the pricing in terms of the base game being $12, but that deluxe edition deal is a fantastic price. Would highly recommend it. Even deals like Cat Quest and Cat Quest 2. Cat Quest 1 being $1.94. You want a game that a younger sibling, your kid, whatever the case may be, just somebody you know that's younger and you want to introduce them to games, Cat Quest is a pretty darn good one, and I think it's enjoyable to people of any ages too. So that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.